Sham Masech the Ma'aser Sheni Pei Daf Hey Bebeis. Nishmas Gita Basvam Mishchayin to the Gesh Chaim Rabbi Yitzchak. We spoke about on Friday. We spoke about the Rambam in Perek Dalet, Halacha Dalet. I'm sorry, Halacha Gimel. Perek Dalet, Halacha Gimel in Ma'aser Sheni. The Rambam Yad HaChazokas. Look, the Rambam. If he's paid the Ma'aser Sheni, he makes a bracha on the pigeon of the Ma'aser Sheni. In Chilon al Peiris, if he's mechalol the Ma'aser Sheni on Peiris Acheres, which is the Rambam Shita, not like the Ravid. The Ravid holds you can't do Peiris on Peiris. Peiris you can only do from Peiris to money. But the Rambam says it's also it's a mitzvah, and you make a bracha on the pigeon of the Ma'aser Sheni. He's not talking about here the afrosh of the Ma'aser Sheni. He's talking here about the etzem pigeon of the Ma'aser Sheni. On the Ma'aser Sheni, you make a bracha. What's the raya? He says the raya is a Mishnah in Dr. Kessler Mishnah. Yushalmi pei kama the demai. Zog the Mishnah Zoy. Demai, this is in Perek Aleph Aloch Dalet. Demai ma'avim boy mishtatum worchen olov. You make a brach on it. Umezamen olov, and there's a bichza zimun. Umafrishin oisei orem. What does it mean? It means that you make a bracha, shaitan pnei Moshe. You make a bichsa moitzi, you make a zimu, ein kam mishum mitzvah b'avei, mishum, the roi v'amoretz ma'asemen. Roi v'amoretz ma'asemen. So this is the mai, we considered that the trumas and ma'ases were taken from it, because roi of the ma'ases, of the amoretz, they take off ma'ases. So therefore, you could eat it, and make a moitzi, you can mizamen, because we said there's no table here. And therefore, you can make the afroshin. Just like you make a brachas on it, you can be mafresh it, because you're only mafresh it, like Rashi in Shabbos, in, what is it, Chav Beis, Chav Beis in Shabbos, like Rashi, excuse me, because Roiva it's Maisim Hem, so Roiva it's Maisim Hem, so why do you make the afrosha on the Mai, B'chlal? So Rashi, it's Chumra B'alma. So about is only a Chumra B'alma, and this we could go Basa Roiv. So if you go Basa Roiv, there's no Demai. So there's no Demai. So you could you could consider it like it's regular Chulun. Umafrishin oisei orem. What does that mean? Frishin oisei orem. Kishabol lahafish. This is the Pnei Moshe. Dr. Azai. Kishabol lahafish. Remember, trumas ma'aser v'ma'aser sheni. Yochel lahafish kushorem. B'tam v'kedamim v'gemorim. Mishum sheni tani brocha. The boy brocha. Like hoy yochel lahafish orem. The binan v'hoy machnecha kodesh. V'leke. B'tam v'loy tani brocha. Mishum shroi v'amoretz ma'aser men. Sure. It's very good. It doesn't need a bracha because it has a chazaka, and it's only because if you learn like Rashi is not geshmaka that it's only a chumra b'alma. So mainly we consider this like regular chul. That's the way the trumas and ma'aser were taken for it. Okay, this is very understandable. Now the Rambam is saying something, adding on another piece, and he's saying that if you pointed the ma'aser sheni, you make a bracha, and where does he take it from? He takes it from this Gemara. This Gemara doesn't say about the poid the ma'aser sheni. It says mafrishin oisoi orum sheni toim bracha ma'aser sheni and the mai you be mafresh it without a bracha because we say you go basa roiv. Keitirim uvarach mohoyu peiris al pidyon ma'aser sheni mohoyu moyis al chila ma'aser sheni. So the Gemara is extending this to say that you also make a bracha on the pigeon of Ma'aser Sheni. What does it mean pigeon of Ma'aser Sheni? It means he's a person that has a lot of peiros, and he wants to now take the peiros up to the base of Mikdash. He wants to take it up to the base of Mikdash to bring it there to you. What do you have to do? You have to be paid because the pasuk says if it's too heavy to carry, you make a pigeon. So if you make the pigeon, stay down the Gemara that you also make a bracha. Turn off the Chav Mesham, Mechalin the Maya b'Mechitz, Shein Tonim bracha, Vada Tonim bracha. If it's Vada, it doesn't need a bracha on the Chilul. Ramana Ba'ikuv Shein. But who says, now the Rambam adds on over here something else. He's saying here also that somebody's pointed to Ma'aser Sheni, you make a bracha. And he says more. He says, if he's pointed Ma'aser Sheni Shul Demai, ain't it so a bracha? Why does it need a bracha? If you mafish the Demai from regular payers, so we can assume that Reb Amos Ma'aser Man, and you don't have to make a bracha on that. Ain't it so a bracha? Why isn't it so a bracha? Because it's Reb Amos Ma'aser Man. But how does the Rambam know that if you pay the Ma'aser Sheni, that you don't need a bracha? Don't forget, Ma'aser Sheni is considered regular. Ma'aser Sheni is considered the Ma'aser Sheni is considered regular Ma'aser Sheni. So if it's regular Ma'aser Sheni, the fact that it's the Ma'aser, we go Basa Roiv and we say that it's good. It's really Ma'aser Sheni. If it's regular Ma'aser Sheni, so if you pay the Ma'aser Sheni on Peiris, you have to make a afrosh. You have to make a bracha. So why does the Rambam say over here that apoider machal ma'aser sheni shudamai ain't no tzarich bracha? This is a tzarichin. This verstehe ich nicht. It's regular ma'aser sheni. Ma'aser sheni he holds that on the chili make a bracha. The Kivegi over here on this Rambam, he's saying masnisin like ma'iri rak medin afrosha. Pegtes. Halacha Dalid. Avo medin adim mufurish b'Yerushalmi halacha Dalid. Huve b'Rash. V'soi pei kamet demai mechulolin kesed demai b'Mechitz shein eton bracha. Why doesn't that need a bracha? That's regular. We go Bosa Roiv, and the Roiv says it's regular Ma'aser Sheni. So if you mechal the Ma'aser Sheni, why don't you need a bracha? Just like you got to make a bracha, you got to make a what? Bichas Hamazon on the Mai, because we say that Roiv Amos Ma'aser Man, and you're not going to make Bichas Hazimim. We consider it regular payers of Ma'aser Sheni. So if you pay the Ma'aser Sheni, you have to make a bracha. Why, if it's a Ma'aser Sheni to the Mai, why don't you have to make a bracha? So I don't know. Then there's another interesting thing. There's a Ravid over here in also Perek Dalet, Halacha Dalet. The Ravid on the Rambam. The Rambam says here, Noch Halacha. He says when you pay the Ma'aser all the time, regular Ma'aser, you don't say that it's Hashem Ma'aser. You have to say it's Hashem Chulun. How much is the value of this payers chulun elu? Even though everybody knows that it's Ma'aser Sheni, Kadesh lo yizbaza. I'm saying here, there's a lot of Kadesh lo yizbaza. You shouldn't say that when you mafresh the truma, the Ma'aser Sheni on money, you shouldn't say that it's Ma'aser Sheni. You should say it's chul, even though it's really it's not chul. Zug the Ravid, and where does he get this from? He says it's the sefta. Kadesh lo yizbaza. Zug the Ravid. When you take payers on payers, but that the Rambam is saying you could do. You could take also payers, and you could be mafresh the payers of the Ma'aser Sheni on other payers Ma'aser Sheni. That is said on Locha Gimel. Payder Ma'aser Sheni. Vim chiln al payers acheros. So he goes from Mois to Peiris. So you could go both ways. The Rambam says that, and the Ravid says this din that the Rambam is saying, when you pay the Ma'aser Sheni, you have to say that it's Chulin, the Shem Chulin, is only when you pay this on Peiris. So the Fasim is a dober. Not to be Mefasim, a Pesomit, that this is Ma'aser Sheni. Aber Kesef, if you pay the Ma'aser Sheni on money, a Torah, Gil said, the Torah says you could do that. Tzata Kesef Yedecha. And you want to tell me now that you have to make a cover up? You cover up this mitzvah and say that it's chulin kadesh leizbaze. And then he says like this: not only the Torah says you're supposed to, you could do it, and it's a mitzvah to do it. That's how the chinuch sefer chinuch says it's mitzvah to do it. You can't take the Yerushalmi, so you have to be mechal on money. So because you make a bracha, if you make a bracha on something, mitzvah, that's a mitzvah. That's a mitzvah. First, he has a kasha, you're covering up, you do a cover up on something the Torah allows you to do. The Torah allows you to do it, you don't have to cover it up. The Torah allows you to make the pigeon, you don't have to cover it up and say that it's chulin. And another thing is, this is I'm asking, the chayah should be, it's going to come out to a kakol, something that here you make a chulin, thinks it's chulin. Doesn't know that you have to use this in the kedusha of Ma'aser Sheni. Ma'aser Sheni is moichin oisay and mekachim b'seisha. It has a lot of restrictions. And if you're going to say it's chulin, people will make a mistake. So that he doesn't ask. But Abu Kabonim is saying it's a mitzvah. And the mitzvah you don't have to cover up. The kibbutz shemavach and al-pijoin. The mitzvah who v'lamet tayin that's a mitzvah. So frag the Mesefer Mavteach, he brings this Ravid on this Ravid, and he asks a kasha. He brings this kasha from Bushi Yontov. Bushi Yontov is a Chelik Beis, Kavu Chaime, Simin Yud Aleph. So frag the the Rambam in Sefer HaMitzvahs, where he brings in Kuf Mem Vav. Kuf Mem Vav is the Rambam said the Shchita is a mitzvah. Ushitzavonu lishchit behem b'chai v'oi v'acha yeyochel. Spoke about this once before. I don't think in the regular Sefer Mitzvahs. I'm reading from Frankel. The regular Sefer Mitzvahs. Yeah, he brings here the regular Gisa doesn't say with two yuds. Yei ochel steht in Frankel. Yei ochel is a different Gisa in this Rambam. So we learned one pshat. What do you mean yei ochel? Mitzvah shchita. Somebody makes a shchita is a sheichel. He shechs, and when he shechs, he doesn't necessarily eat. Sheichel doesn't have to eat. He could be a vegetarian. So if he doesn't have to eat, so what does the Rambam say? He makes the bracha, and then achikach yeh yochel or yochel. Yochel means the sheichel himself has to eat l'chayla. Yeh yochel means like a guest man. It has to be eaten. The shechita is to make it edible for yidzel ken nesen. Or he says yeh yochel, it should be eaten. So, okay, this is a different shmuz what the mitzvah of shechita is, but in any case, whichever gis you're learning in the Rambam is saying the shechita is it should be eaten. But that's if a sheikh checks and he doesn't eat or he doesn't know that anybody else is eating, he's also going to make the shchita. He's going to make a bracha on the shchita. So Zuktav Dein the Ravid, because of a Ravid, I'm a bracha ein loy tam. Ein loy tam. What does it mean ein loy tam? The Chayei is mash ein loy tam. That he says that the shchita is not a mitzvah. Rambam was counting this, v'zevachta v'chalta. V'zevachta, the zvicha is a mitzvah, the shchita is a mitzvah. So the Ravid ein loy tam. Ulai lava bo michlal aseh asehu. It's a lava bo michlal aseh. Because in an esef is a vachta v'chalta, it's mashma from here that if you don't make the zvicha, you can't eat. So he says that's considered an aseh. It could be that's the reason why the Rambam counts it for a mitzvah. Because a lava bo michlal, it's an issa. Not the pshat is a mitzvah of shchita. That's how the Ravid is learning. The Rambam says no, it's a mitzvah of shchita. The Eibusha gave you a mitzvah of medem kamenescence. Al kaponim, expected azoi. If you make a bracha on it, it's a raya, it's a mitzvah. If you make a bracha, it's a raya, it's a mitzvah. So shchita, you make a bracha. Shechita you make a bracha, so that should be a right. That's a mitzvah. Punkta the Rebbe says on pigeon of Ma'aser Sheni, it's a mitzvah. So why does the Rambam say you say Arei Chulin because he shouldn't be mavazeh the Ma'aser Sheni? It's a mitzvah. So if it's a mitzvah, because you make the bracha, that's right, it's a mitzvah. Don't be mad. So why did the Rambam say by Shechita? He says it's not a mitzvah. The Rebbe is mechulek on the Rambam. He holds that Shechita is not a mitzvah. He's not mechulek on the bracha. The Rebbe is masking that you make a bracha on the Shechita. If you're masking to make a bracha on the Shechita, like the Mabushi Yontiv, the Chayde, it's a mitzvah. So if it's a mitzvah, so how could the Rebbe say it's not a mitzvah? So Ken Zayin Taka, the two ways to learn Hipshat. One could be Pshat, the Rebbe Taka holds that you don't make the bracha. What's the Rebbe? He holds you make a bracha on Shechita. Unless you have a Gemara, I have to see there. The Gemara, when the Gemara talks about the brachas, where is the Gemara? The Gemara says you do make a bracha on. You have to see if it's enough in the Gemara or not. Can I say Gemara? The Rebbe could be holding you don't make a bracha. But this is alone that the Rambam holds that he learns out from this Mishnah in the Mai that you make a bracha on the afrosha, and he says also you make a bracha on the chilul when you mechalel the Ma'aser Sheni, not b'shas afrosha. B'shas afrosha is all the trumas and Ma'aser you make a bracha. But who says that when you make the pigeon, you make the pigeon the chilul? Who says then you make a bracha? It's only a chelik of the mitzvah. It's not the whole mitzvah. The mitzvah is not done until you take it to the base of Mikdash and you eat it in Yerushalayim. So Ketzir hu Mavarach, the Gemara says over there in the Maya, Halacha Daled, Pei Galaf, Halacha Daled, the Gemara Ketzir hu Mavarach Mahoya Peis al Pidyon Ma'aser Sheni. Mahoya Moyes al Chilul Ma'aser Sheni. So he says here, Ketzir hu Mavarach Mahoya Peis al Pidyon Ma'aser Sheni. So it's state that you make a bracha on the Pidyon for Ma'aser Sheni. So that's the Makor to the Rambam. The Makor to the Rambam is here this Gemara, this Yishalmi. So it's only a chelik of the mitzvah, and it's only when you don't have ability to take the pace to Yerushalayim, to the base of Mikdash. So this is a chayre, not nigma. The mitzvah is not finished. It's not going to be finished until you take it and eat it in Yerushalayim. So upon we see that you make a bracha on a chelik of the mitzvah. So this could be doime to what the Rishiva said on the bracha of Sri Yisayim. Bracha Sri Yisayim, that you can make a bracha every night, even according to the shittas or the shonim that hold you need tamimus, and you're not mekayim the mitzvah until you finish. You count it all the nights, but every night you make a bracha. So the Chananai, you make a bracha. The Shiva Lam Pshad, you make a bracha on the kiyum of ma'aser of the mitzvah, even though you don't have the kiyum of the mitzvah until it's nigmar. But nonetheless, a ma'aser mitzvah is also the chamu misakin over here bracha. So Kenzayin, that's the pshat here on the pigeon. When you point to the Ma'aser Sheni and take the payers Ma'aser Sheni, put it on Mois, so this is Pshat Yishalmi. Yishalmi says you make a bracha because on a Ma'aser mitzvah, machman a bracha, it's mefurish in the Torah that you can do it. Tzaddik has to be decha. The kiyum l'chayre is not until later. He says somebody's going to be paid to the Ma'aser Sheni and never take the money to Yerushalayim and never finish the achila of eating the payers in Yerushalayim. Man tumad, tzaddik is not mekayim this mitzvah. It's one mitzvah. Back upon him could be it's another raya to this that on a ma'aser mitzvah, even though there's not a kiyum, you also make a bracha. Okay. So I have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.